It was a day of book signings at the Profile Tavern in East Freetown as Jeff Belanger announced the launch of his latest book, Wicked Strange.
So Wicked Strange is a book that's been many years in the works. Well, it started as a calendar that I did with photographer Frank Grace, and then a podcast, New England Legends podcast. All these wonderfully weird stories about ghosts, monsters, UFOs, roadside oddities, eccentrics, and all manner of strangeness that makes New England like no other place.
So part of the fun was actually picking out all the stories that are going to be in the book. And, are they worthy of a photo? Is there anything left to take a photo? It was an epic adventure hitting all these locations and making sure they all get covered and everything like that. We went out of our way to make sure we had equal number from each state as well, so all of New England was covered. But it was a blast. It was fun finding areas that aren't always looked at and finding out exactly where they are. And I can't wait to share it with everybody and see it through my eyes.
It includes some well-known historical events.
The Great Molasses Flood is an event that left a mark on Boston, of course. Lots of people died. It sounds sort of funny, but then when you hear about the details, you realize it was really horrible. It was awful. And there's a moral to it, right? There's a moral to any legend. That one was shoddy construction in a facility that wasn't equipped to handle it, and people paid with their lives for that. And that's the kind of thing that can still happen. So I think we still keep talking about these events because we're still trying to reconcile them.
And Boston's large tea kettle.
I was spending a weekend with my son Nathan. We went to 3 Red Sox games. So we were there for like Friday to Sunday. So at night, during the day games, I'd go at night, I'd go, hey, I'm going to go walk the streets around Boston, take some photos. And one happened to be that tea kettle. I'm like, look at that tea kettle, it's actually steaming. Well, I want to take a picture of that tea kettle. It looks interesting. It's kind of out of place in the middle of this modern city, Took the picture, sent it to Jeff, and goes, I think there's a story behind that tea kettle. Sure enough, there was.
So it's possible that there are really extraordinary landmarks all around us and we're just not paying attention?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So which is kind of cool to see them documented in a book. People will go and they might, bring attention to those things and help preserve them and keep the history alive.
There's also a story about the grave of a Revolutionary War hero.
Ethan Allen, that's one of our cemetery safaris. Ethan Allen, what a hero, what a figure from history, and we lost his body. That's what happened. We don't know where he's buried. We know where his monument is. That's without question. It's the tallest thing in the whole cemetery. You can't possibly miss it. However, he's not necessarily buried under it. They lost him somewhere along the way. How do you lose someone like that? I don't know, but they did it.
And while many regions of New England are covered, one was left out. I did notice, and I got to say this since we're a South Shore station, not a lot of South Shore stuff, man.
It's because we're saving that for the sequel, obviously. Like the whole Volume 2, Frank, right? Like it's going to be entirely South Shore. Wicked Strange South Shore. I know. We were trying to give equal time to 6 New England states, diversity of everything, and I'm sorry, South Shore, but if you listen to the New England Legends podcast, we got you covered.
So the book Wicked Strange can be found wherever books are sold, and the calendar is available on his website, jeffbelanger.com. Reporting from the Profile Tavern in East Freetown in the Bridgewater Triangle, Dan McCready, WATD News.